If you have a piece of advice for the people participating today, something they want to look out for, consider, what would that piece of advice be?
Well, I happen to kind of go back to the skilled trades. I tell people to get into the skilled trades. Frederick Douglass said back in the midst of slavery, learn a trade or starve. It's still today. The skilled trades, I will advise you to get in. Especially, I do the appliance repair. I teach people appliance repair. I have appliance boot camp because it's the last of the skilled trades where you can actually get in and don't require a contractor's license. And it kicks off just as much cash as if you did have a contractor's license. And so from there, that'll give you enough money and enough cash flow to go out and do those investments. And it will also give you the stability in your family and stuff where you can actually supply jobs for your kids and grandkids. But I say get into the skilled trades. You got to be starting a business. You gotta be starting a business. If you're not starting a business these days, I don't know how you're gonna make it in the next 10 years or so. I just don't know how you're gonna make it.
Mike, can you keep talking? My mother's calling twice. Let me see what
Okay,
she
that's no
wants.
problem. Uh, I read some of the stuff that I see going on in the chat. I can't see what's going on YouTube, but I can see, I guess, the people who's local. Said thank you so much to be part of this community. I've learned so much. You read that. Kevin Stewart said great information. Sharnetta Hargan, I love your story, Mike. Oh, thanks. Like I say, it was a great story. Uh, we done it. And, my friends got to see what entrepreneurship really is. We got to build businesses together. That first year, we had like a big celebration party, and we had all the family come out, and I never forget this too. Our first store that we opened up, our first franchise store we opened up. We had a big celebration. We brought all the families down. Got to show them our actual business, and it was great. It was great. And and from there, that launch pad me into doing so much stuff. That one interaction with Ron and Abdul and them, and seeing them building generational wealth, totally changed my whole mindset about everything that I had going on. Up until then, I was thinking like everybody else. I'm gonna get the Lambo. No, I'm gonna buy.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
buy the $500,000 house and all this stuff. And now I look and I don't want that stuff because it ties up too much of my capital. Because
Yeah.
as soon as
And
I
we
start,
think too small too. Like I know over the past probably 3 years,
mm,
really 2 years, all of a
mm,
sudden I'm like, oh wow, I really have been thinking too small. I'm behind the eight ball of
mm,
like where I should be,
mm,
and I've even spent time over the past 12 months, like saying, okay, I have to skill up with
mm,
regards to being an entrepreneur so that
mm.
I can hit where the other entrepreneurs are like, that's our floor, you
Right,
know?
yeah, yeah,
And I'll let everyone know the floor for like the white male entrepreneurs out there, the floor is 400,000 take home,
mhm,
which is really top 1%. And I've been like behind the, because you're kind of like, oh, I got my own little business. I'm a solopreneur. I have a couple of independent contractors. I'm kind of,
yeah,
doing my
yeah,
thing. And then you're talking to people, and then you're like, but I don't want to have a lot of employees, which is my thing. Like, I don't want to have a lot of
yeah.
employees. And they're like, no, 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 no. I'm making much more than you with one employee that's a virtual admin. And I'm like, okay, like,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
so what, like that was like you had the epitome with Raj, like
uh-huh,
this, moment. Like that was
uh-huh.
me when I was listening to this guy about 9 months ago. I'm like, okay, I've clearly have missed, you know, missed the memo here. But I do want to show one thing. Someone had asked, Alan had asked about if Mike would make his bylaws available to us. I do want to show you within our knowledge center, again, coming back to the family wealth thing, Colonel Preston and Robert Cook gave us their partnership agreement. It's
Hmm.
here. So you all are able, again, it's $100 membership. This is our knowledge center that's available to you there. So wanted to make sure you saw that. And I would really suggest, if you're serious about this, to go through that entire lesson plan as well. So Michael is asking if you have any retirees in your group, they may have time to do the admin work.
I'm the retiree. Everybody else was still working their 9 to 5. So I was their retiree, and like I say, for the first 2 years, I was the president, and I kind of bird dogged the deals and stuff, and then I still had my other businesses going on, and then I started doing the appliance boot camp, and then that took time away from me from doing that, so I stopped being the president. And from then, I've been doing the appliance boot camp, and this has more of my interest right now than the P1322, which I still love it, but this right here have more of my interest.
Yeah, yeah. Sharnetta is asking, how many people are currently in your investment group now? I think
We
you've
had
already
10 people.
answered that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had 10 people in our
Mhm.
investment group, and the way we done it, after we met with Abdul that last time, and he said he'll teach us, we just said, okay, if the people who are serious about this, we're gonna meet tomorrow. One of the guys is a minister in our group. Meet at his church at 6 o'clock. Bring $100. If you bring $100, you in. If you don't bring $100, you're not in. And it was funny. We met and we started doing it, and people thought we was crazy with the $100. But when they start seeing the businesses pop up, they start seeing people coming to us for loans, and and
But
then
that's how it is. Like people, and granted, I get it. Like I get that so many people say, I'm a gonna,
uh
someday I'll is what they call it.
uh
Someday I'll do
uh
this, someday I'll do that. So they're just waiting on the wings to see what's
uh
happening. And then all of a sudden you start moving and then more
right.
people join. And then you really start moving and then more people join. And then all of a sudden you're like a gazillionaire on major TV, and they're like, I I was there when
Yeah.
Mike just got started. I was in the room. Yes.
Yeah.
Now you didn't have your $100 in the room, but you were there, right? But that happens, and I just call it kind of par for the course. It just is what it is. I think that not everybody joins you in the very beginning, and I
Yeah,
think that it's
it was kind of if because it was a couple of guys that I thought would go that would been very great, and and they were like, nah, I'm not gonna join. Those guys don't know what they doing. I ain't getting involved in that mess. Everybody gonna get messed up. And I was that disheartened me because I thought they were gonna go. But then 2 years later they want to get in, and the group voted. We ain't want no more members, and I have to go back and tell them they don't want any more members. They don't want to split the
yeah,
profits coming out of it.
yeah.
And so yeah.
So we have a few more questions here,
Yeah,
and then we're
I'm free. I normally do at 8 o'clock. But I told all my subscribers I was being here, so they
you're
probably
gonna be,
on YouTube.
that's beautiful then. So then we usually go to 7:15. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wanted to respect your
Yeah, I'm
time.
free. Yeah.
Angela is saying, just curious, did your group think about having your family members as part of the group? Did like Abdul did with his family?
Oh yeah, yeah. We have, but you gotta think we fighting over 400 years of programming, and then you got you got all this school that's programming people.
Mhm.
So now when I'm going, this in my house, not just and I in my house where I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 some years, and I haven't worked, and my kids and my family and stuff have seen directly what I've done. I'm fighting right now to get my kids to come work in our business, because what they're saying is, that's your dream. That ain't my dream. I need to do what makes me happy. And you were trying to tell them, no, you come here and work here. Then you can always do what makes you happy. You just gonna work here. So nah, it's hard to break that mindset. of telling somebody that want to go to school, like I say, for something. They got our kids on this social work, and they're saying there ain't gonna be no math in it. Any type of major that does require any math, they pushing our kids to it, pushing our
Yeah.
kids to it. And so what happened? And I'm telling anybody in my family, go major in accounting, and I'll pay for it.
Mhm.
I'll pay for you to go major in accounting. I
Yeah.
need an accountant here
Yeah.
beside me, and want nobody. I can't get nobody to do it. When
Hmm.
I'm telling somebody, I got, I got, I had I had four commercial buildings down here,
Hmm.
and I'm going to my sister-in-laws, my family. Let's put a nail salon. Y'all don't have a black nail salon, and y'all going every other week and paying all
Hmm.
this money to get your nails done. Let's put a nail salon in. I'll pay for one of y'all to go become a nail tech, and I'm gonna build everything out just like Abdul and them told me.
Hmm.
I'll pay. I'll build everything out. I just need you to get in there and you run it, and we'll split the profits and stuff. I couldn't get not one of them to do it. Couldn't get not
Yeah.
one of them to do it.
Wow. I think so. I hear like our counterparts,
Mm,
American white people,
mm,
in particular,
mm,
talk about this as well. I think this is more of an East-West thing than a Black people versus everyone else type of thing. Because, we are taught to be individuals. We're taught, let's be happy, in our
mm,
20s. And it's more about the individual versus the group. And I'm not saying that your individual happiness is not important, but it is like a different kind of training. Now, we as Black people have additional, you're right, we have additional systemic training
mm.
because people do want to put us in social work and in other degrees. But I think that Talisha, I don't know if Talisha's still in the chat. I think that we're coming out of that. I think that our young people are starting to get into more strategic degrees. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I had a conversation 2 weeks ago. My daughter's a freshman. She's
Uh-huh.
majoring in nursing. So,
Well, that's
uh,
useful.
yeah, that's useful. So I didn't push too much for that against that. But
Uh-huh.
her best friend called, and she having a hard time, saying she was gonna thinking about dropping out. And I said, well, what you majoring in? She's majoring to be a sports agent. And I'm asking. I said, do you know any sports agents? No. Do you know any pro athletes? No. How you gonna be a sports agent? And
She may have seen it in a movie or something
that's
like that.
that's
Yeah.
what I've seen in the movie
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, this is why media, I think, is so important,
Mm,
because how many of us, again, I'm of a particular age,
mm.
went to college because we saw a different world.
I went. That's why I became an engineer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people want to be Dwayne or they
yeah,
wanted to be Kimberly or things
yeah.
like that. And we don't really have I think it's showing up in different ways, but I think after a different world, there was this kind of void of that type of media out there.
Mm,
Now it's starting to come up again, especially in TikTok. I the TikToks that I've seen, you'll see like, 30, 40, 50-year-old Black women talking to millennial girls saying, in radiology,
mm.
I'm this, I'm that, you can make X amount of dollars per hour, you can, be a travel nurse and things like that. So I think that that information is now being disseminated differently. And Talisha is saying Gen Zs are interested in business as well. So she's co-signing that they are.
Yeah. Now,
I think they're starting to get more of that. Um,
yeah, I will say that now it's cool to be an entrepreneur. 15
mhm,
years ago, if you were an entrepreneur, it was because you couldn't cut it in corporate America, and they looked at
mhm.
us, especially African American entrepreneurs, as almost like somebody hustling. Just trying to make ends meet and stuff, not really running a full-fledged business and going to do anything. But I
Yeah.
will say now, I'm seeing a lot more people coming into entrepreneurship, and they are embracing it and wanting to learn it.